You were born in a royal palace in the Ming Dynasty, China, 1340 AD. Your mother was a concubine, not the emperor's favorite, but beautiful enough to be his dear one. The other women never forgot that. You grew up knowing the rules before you could even read. Stay quiet, bow lower than everyone else, and never trust a smile in the Forbidden City. At 8, you learned the truth that should have felt like a blessing in disguise. The emperor was your father, but it wasn't a fairy tale. There were 20, maybe 30 others just like you, children of the same man, each one a piece on the chessboard of palace politics. The title daughter of the emperor was nothing here. It was just another reason for people to watch you, envy you, and wait for you to stumble. You'd already seen what jealousy could do. You remembered the day one of your mother's rivals accused her of poisoning a cup of tea meant for a high-ranking consort. The emperor's mother wanted both of you executed. You were 9, kneeling in the icy courtyard, your mother's hand gripping yours so tightly your bones ached. The executioner's shadow fell over you, until a servant stepped forward, trembling, swearing she'd seen your mother nowhere near the tea. The blade was lowered, but the message was clear. One more accusation and you'd both vanish. It happened again less than a year later. This time the charge was plotting to curse the emperor's health. You were dragged to the same courtyard, the same cold stone under your knees. Again, someone spoke for you, a maid loyal to your mother. Again, you survived, but survival here was like walking on glass. Every step forward meant a cut. When you turned 12, you found one thing that made you forget the danger for a while: learning. You devoured poetry, memorized history, mastered calligraphy, so fine the brush seemed to float in your hand. Your teachers, men old enough to remember emperors past, praised you openly. One day they bowed to the emperor himself and asked for you to be sent to the Imperial Academy, the highest school in the capital. The emperor looked at you, really looked at you, for the first time you could remember.
When you're 14, you will go.
That night you let yourself dream, not of silk, not of gold, but of walking the academy's courtyards, learning enough to build a life that was yours. But the palace never let dreams grow. Older children, sons and daughters of higher-ranking wives, heard the news. They started their games. They placed stolen jewelry in your room, whispered to servants that you'd mocked the emperor's mother, accidentally tore your scrolls before lessons. Each time you proved your innocence, another rumor bloomed like mold in the dark. The worst came just weeks before your 14th birthday. The Academy's invitation was withdrawn without explanation. You found out why in whispers. People were saying you were old enough to be a concubine now, old enough to be dressed in silk, given to some distant noble as a political gift. You started avoiding open halls, keeping your head low in the gardens, but fear sat in your chest, like a stone. And then one day, a silk trader from the southern provinces arrived, a man with kind eyes and smooth words. He'd known your mother's family before she was taken. He told her he could take you far away, to Europe, where girls could study freely, where no one cared about palace ranks or bound feet. You saw the way your mother's hands trembled when she spoke to him. She'd lived her life trapped in the emperor's cage. She wasn't going to let you rot in there too. She sold what little she had. Hairpins, embroidered sashes, secret gifts from your father. Go, she told you. Be more than this place allows. You left on a moonless night, slipping past sleeping guards, the trader leading you through the maze of alleys beyond the palace walls. For the first time in your life, you smelled the city outside. The sea salt, the smoke, the tang of roasting chestnuts. You almost believed you were free. The journey to the port took days. The trader spoke of European cities with white marble streets, of libraries larger than the Forbidden City, of women who could own land and teach in schools. You clung to every word like it was a rope pulling you out of quicksand. But when the ship finally came into view, your stomach twisted. It wasn't the grand merchant vessel you'd imagined. The hull was blackened, its sails patched and ragged. You hesitated at the gangplank. The trader's hand on your back was gentle but firm. "It's safer aboard," he said. You believed him until you saw the others, girls and boys, some younger than you, huddled in the dark belly of the ship, wrists shackled, eyes hollow. The air stank of fear and salt and sickness. The trader's voice changed when he spoke to the captain, all smooth courtesy gone. He counted silver coins into the man's hands without looking at you. That was when you knew you weren't going to Europe to study. You weren't going anywhere to be free. You were cargo again, just like your mother had been at 12. Only this time there would be no palace, no silks, no whispered rescues, just a market across the sea and strangers bidding for you like livestock. The sea creaked as it pulled away from the dock. The city lights shrank behind you. Somewhere far away, your mother was still in her cage, believing you had escaped. You pressed your forehead to the cold wood and closed your eyes, tasting the lie like blood in your mouth. You had always known your life wasn't yours to keep. You just hadn't realized how far the world could reach to take it away.